The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 31st day and final day of January 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. He's Larry Marshall, and it's just us today. Maya is out recovering, another sick. Well, we must say welcome back, Larry. You were down for the count as well, huh?
Yeah, happy to be back, everyone. Thank you for the well wishes. But I was down for the count, like bad, for about 48 hours, and then every time I thought I was getting back, my energy levels just went back low. But I'm happy that we got through it. I think because I quarantined myself in my bedroom, and it kind of just that part was harder than the actual sickness after about the first 24 hours. But I'm happy to be on the man's and the rest of our people. Let's get better.
Are you allowed to be around people in person again?
Yeah. Everything's back in normal in the community. Everything.
Okay. Yeah. No. I was thinking just last night, back to like 2020, when we first entered like the phase of staying inside and so on, and I was just like, what a wild time it was. Like, what was that app, House Party or something, or House something, where people were going on this app to be able to like see their friends and talk to their friends and drink with their friends and groups and stuff. It was a wild.
It was the safe key and all of those types of things, right?
Right. Remember that stuff? Like it was a wild time. But hey, happy you're back. We're waiting on a couple more to recover. You know what? You know what's interesting? We don't share an office on this team, but it's funny how we were all in January 2024 sick at the same time, or like back to back.
Yeah, I think you kind of started it, and then just everybody's gonna blame you. Yeah.
I can say that, but I mean, I guess I'm contagious through technology, folks. I'm contagious. Good morning to you, Tanya Cheeseman. Good morning to you, Suzanne Ingham. She says, awesome Wednesday to you, Jamal and Larry. And greetings, everyone. And thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today. We're going to be welcoming the women's national football team coach, Naquita Robinson, onto the show. The daily play is a remember. No, it's music today. Oh, it's music today. Yeah.
You want to pick topics that I'm not really that good at. I see the strategy for 2024.
You don't know music?
I know some.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't know this one, folks, just throw it all away. It's music. Actually, what is it? Hold on. Oh, yeah, it's music. Yeah. So if you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, we've got a conversation to have. And
Jamal, you're serious?
What?
We have no one to interrupt a joke, and you're not got a joke for me?
Oh.
Like, let's give the people what they want.
How could I get into the conversation when I put the joke out right just now? Audience, do you want a joke? Oh, gee, we've got a joke already. Suzanne Ingham says, do we have a joke this morning?
Give the people what they want, Jamal.
Good morning to you too, Jamaica Smith. Well, before we do the joke, Tanya Cheeseman says, today my husband Julian and I are celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. Audience, please give some love, show some love and congratulatory messages to Tanya Cheeseman and her husband Julian on a happy 25th anniversary. Your TDH community wishes you many more years of health, love, and happiness, Tanya Cheeseman.
Yes,
happy anniversary as a result of severing. All right. This joke, oh boy, this is a funny one. This is a funny one. All right, here we go, folks. Larry Marshall Jr. Why do cats eat on sunny days? Sorry, take it back. Larry Marshall Jr. What do cats eat on sunny days?
The sunflowers.
Audience, what do cats eat on sunny days? Ready? What do cats eat on sunny days? Mice cream cones. Get it? Mice cream cones, ice cream, audience. No. That was funny. I don't know what you say. Mice cream cones.
I love the corniness.
She says sun pebbles. Nope. Church mice. Nope. Mice cream cones. Yeah. Thank you, Adeline Swan. Thank you. 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 That's right, Tanya Cheeseman. That one's for you and your husband. Keep the, the laughter in you. Look, you know what? If you want for your 25th anniversary, I could do a stand-up comedy show for you guys. That's a good.
All right, cat.
Yeah.
Fully cat.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the conversation. Let's get a bit serious. Now you've loosened up, you've stretched it out. Let's get into it. So a lot to talk about. And thank you to those in the audience who do send us stuff to consider to discuss. It is appreciated. And oh boy, Tanya Cheeseman rejected my offer. I'll speak to Mr. Julian then. But we've got to have a conversation. And last week we spoke about what happened at Fairmont Southampton. We spoke about the various things that could be wrong with it. Number one, has the stuff been inspected by the Environmental Health Department, right? We spoke about what does it really say about the state of Bermuda. We spoke about, just the disorganization. Well, it seems like they've come up with a new plan. So let me just read from those folks over at Burn News. It says appointment system for furniture giveaway. Fairmont Southampton announced a new process for its furniture with an appointment-based system where people can choose up to 3 items each, with the first day reserved for seniors. This follows after the first planned furniture giveaway at the Fairmont Southampton on January 23rd was canceled at the last minute, with large crowds of people lining up in advance and the hotel saying that the turnout far exceeded the hotel's expectations. Prior to that event, the hotel held a charity furniture giveaway in which various items, including beds, chairs, sofas, and desks, were distributed to more than 50 charities, rest homes, and churches. So here's the new process. Priority day for seniors. In a dedicated effort to accommodate the island senior community, on Tuesday, February 20th, the hotel will reserve the first day exclusively for seniors to select their furniture. Registration for Bermuda residents. All residents must book an appointment online at FairmontSouthamptonBermuda.com or call the PTIX customer care line at 278-1500 between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., February 5th and 9th. The registration will require your name, email address to deliver ticket to and phone number, and ask that residents limit appointments to 1 per household. Furniture selection. When making an appointment, residents can choose a limited number of listed items, pickup, scheduling, ticket requirement for entry, all that stuff. Now, we saw the videos. We saw everything that happened. The question of the morning is, what are the lessons from Fairmont Southampton's revamped giveaway? Like, what are the lessons? I actually give them a bit of credit. I give them a bit of credit. Like them, love them, or hate them. I give credit where it's due for realizing that the crap show that was should never be. So I'll give them. But what are your thoughts? Because I think this is much bigger than the giveaway, and I want to see if we're going to think deeper on this. What are your thoughts about the lessons that we can take from this experience? But before we get there, yes or no? Simple. Do you agree with the appointment system? Do you agree with this new appointment system? seniors first, and then people can only take up to 3 items, and they have specific times and days that they have to reach out. Like, do you agree with the appointment system? Yes or no?
I think that after the videos and what we saw from the initial day where they tried to have the event, you have to agree with the system. Well, I would say I would agree with the system. It had to be a bit of law and order, for the lack of a better term. I for one, and I'm just a bit disappointed that we have to have this type of system. When I think about this, and you're explaining and reading off everything from Bernie's article just now, I just think of wasted resources. I mean, we're doing all these things for something that should be, hey, pick up something like this. But we have so many people that feel, you know what, I can benefit from this. And I don't want to rehash what you guys discussed previously. But it just really shows that no, we have to spend resources or allocate resources to something that should have been a simple pick up and move situation for some, maybe not all. And I think that just is like it's eye opening for me.
Well, I mean, I'm not making excuses for Gen Com at all, but in fairness, maybe they didn't think that the state of Bermuda was in fact in a space where people would show up like that, right? I mean, could any of us truly have predicted that would be the outcome, right? Maybe some, yeah. I personally probably wouldn't have thought it would have been that serious, because I'll tell you why I thought it wouldn't have been that serious, because I didn't even think about it until I saw the videos of people up there. So, I refer to them, but audience, let us know, do you agree with the appointment system that Gen Com has now put in place? Do you agree with it? Tanya Cheeseman says yes. Kimberly Jackson says yes, I agree with the system. Dawn Santucci Smith says yes, I agree. Okay, I think the consensus, although that's only 3 people amongst the many that are tuned in, who actually agree that the system makes sense now, right? Now, the bigger question is, what are the lessons from this situation? Like, what are some of the lessons that we can take from this? Because I feel like Gen Com, credit to them, knew they got it horribly wrong. They got it horribly wrong. And not only did they cancel the next week, but they said, you know what? We're going to put a system in place to fix this. And that system is going to be, we're going to limit it. We're going to allow seniors to go first. To me, again, I'm not here to make excuses for Gen Com. Let me be clear. I still don't think the hotel is going to benefit Bermuda as is, as proposed. That's my personal opinion. I'm happy to have my opinion changed, and that's not the topic today. But you've got to give credit where it's due if you're an honest human being. And I think that what they done, remember what the Honorable Mark Bean said. The only politician he's heard apologize is Colonel Birch. It's almost like in Bermuda, there's this culture of, okay, it happened. Yeah, move on. Not it happened, let's fix it and do better. But it happened, let's move on. I give Gen Com credit. Now, I'm not saying there are not companies and organizations who do this on a regular basis. I'm simply saying this was in the public eye. They got it horribly wrong, and they fixed it. These are the kind of things that will make our community better. When we can admit we got it wrong and we fix it. So again, question to the audience this morning is what are some other lessons that we can take from the Gen Com situation? What are some other lessons? And let's go to the comments, Larry. Kimberly Jackson says, glad they organized it. It really shows how many people need the support. We discussed this last week. I don't quite, I'm iffy on this, and I don't know if you saw the show last week, Kimberly, so I'll make it short, but I actually think this is more concerning for Bermuda, that there are that many people that need support. I think that shows the state of Bermuda. That's one. The second thing, as we discussed last week, is, has any of this stuff been inspected by the environmental or health department? Like, Do we know if this stuff's safe after being sitting in a space that's known to have mold all this time? So I think while I appreciate the gesture, I just hope that other things are taking place on the back end. Free stuff, I want to say this. Larry just mentioned resources. Nothing is free. It's going to cost us somewhere, some way, somehow. I hope we keep that in mind. Suzanne Ingham says, yes, after the chaos last week, I agree with Larry. It should have been a simple process from the start. Stuff that is free, there will always be crowds. Kimberly Jackson says, I didn't think about it, but some persons in need said to me beforehand they were not going because they predicted it would be a rat race. Well, I hope those persons are able to, get something of benefit for themselves if it's safe for them to do so. And again, we asked the question last week. My hope is that something was done in the last week, but anyone who may have connects in the health department or environment, my hope is that there would be something said to ensure that that stuff is safe for people to take.
Yeah.
And Dawn Santucci Smith says, it seems obvious the need in our community. Again, I guess that is a lesson, but that's a sad reflection of the government of the day. Whenever we should not have to use the term in need. That term. No willing and able person should ever be in need. In need should be people who don't have the ability to do for themselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think as you kind of touched on, but the lesson may be the adjustment. The company saw something, they got it wrong. Everyone in the community did it, and they adjusted and they came up with something. I think that may actually be the lesson and how we can apply that to other aspects of the community.
I agree.
Ebony Souza says, I love that they came up with a solution that includes all and touches our most vulnerable community first.
Yeah, I like the seniors aspect. I agree with Ebony. I love that. And folks, it's another thing. The human element says that, I saw this quote. Actually, we quoted it as part of Daily Inspiration last week. And it was about Michael Jordan said he missed this amount of shots and he missed more shots than he made. Kobe and LeBron have missed the most shots in NBA history, but they still won and they were champions. And the lesson in that and the comparison, the analogy is that we're going to get more wrong than we get right. We're going to get a lot wrong. Gen Com got it wrong. But after they got it wrong, they sought to fix it, and they did. Anthony Pete says, at times in life, decisions must be reversed, and it is okay. Reducing confusion should be part of this decision-making. They have a model now that others who might do similar can consider. Well, let me stop you there.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it right there, because, let's use the government of Bermuda and the Ministry of Education. The whole thing with the schools, the West End Somerset Primary, whether you agree with it or not, whether that's your fight or not, right? The public pushed back and the government pushed back. And it seemed like a fight that the government was never going to win in that space. But now it's going quiet. And you must ask yourself, why is it going quiet? Because I believe that the government will back down, but they'll only announce this close to an election to say, we listen to the people.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, folks, there are lessons. And I think all of us, Larry and Mr. Peach right here, we get it. We get it. Use this no matter where you are in your life. Personal relationship, professional, friendships. Larry and I are actually friends. He tells me about myself. I might tell him about himself. But that's what we're supposed to do if we're really friends, right? We're supposed to have those honest conversations. Do this with those responsible, whether it's your politicians, it could be your bosses at work. I'm not telling you go get fired. I'm simply saying, if something seems off, if it's wrong, if there's a better way to do it, have those conversations. Because to me, I'm looking at the community aspect. I was worried for Bermudians up at Fremont, Southampton. I thought it was going to be a stampede. I thought they were going to open the doors and people just run. That's how it looked.
Yeah, and they canceling the event. I think we haven't said that was actually a good move because it had the potential to go horribly wrong, and then we would have been talking about something totally different. And I don't think Gen Con wanted that, so I think that they got that part right also.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Well, let's go back to the comments. We're going to do the news break after this. We'll bring Coach Naquita Robinson on in a few minutes. Very good conversation if you love women's sport. And I did reshare on LinkedIn, my personal page, that conversation with Maya and Leilani. Awesome conversation. Two awesome young women in their mid-20s in Bermuda. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Suzanne Ingham says, yes, either all those people, it is definitely clear of the needs of so many people. Bermuda is in big trouble. Result of severance says, lesson. When organizations make a community-based error, go beyond stating the obvious error, but take the time to understand what caused the problem and create a response that contextualizes the cause. I love Miss Severin. That's it. If we can apply this to so many things that impact our community. Manuela John says, I'm concerned by the clip I saw of people who receive free furniture advertising the free articles for sale. It was posted as comical, but it's a serious consideration. Hold on. So you mean people were getting free stuff from Fremont, Southampton and selling it?
Oh, I heard of that.
Oh. So that we're going to talk about that another show. That's okay. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I'm going to reserve judgment until I hear if the items being given away are safe for anyone, especially the elderly, to use. We know our healthcare system isn't optimal. And Charles, again, for those who missed the show last week when we discussed this, that was one of my biggest concerns. Is this stuff safe? Have we had conversations? With the Department of Health or Environment to know that these mattresses are safe, that there's no mold? Suzanne Ingham says, you got it, Jamal. It's always about politics and how to manipulate the people for a vote involved. We've got Carol Griffith says, not everyone who goes after free stuff is really in need. Bingo. Kira Renee BDA says, I agree with Rizelda. And I just want to touch on that. Not everyone who goes after free stuff is really in need. We had those challenges when I was at the radio station, even radio stations in the US. People would show up and you're like, hold on, what are you doing here? When you know certain people. And it's almost like, Jamal, mind your business. You don't know anyone's, what we think we know. But I agree with that. It's like, while I would love a free something, I know there's other people that may need it more than me. And that's just the way I was brought up.
Yeah, and you often talk about some of the issues with charity, and I think sometimes with charity going at this particular ish or event, we have people that abuse, or not even do that, but something that's just probably morally not right. You know what I mean? Because if you're looking to get something and then it's doing Facebook Marketplace or what's the other one that they sell in Bermuda?
Is it Magistless? Did they?
Yeah, somewhere, and it's just like, really, come on. Like, however, I think people would know what this stuff is, and they make our called out for selling it if they do it publicly.
Indeed. All right, folks, we're going to go to the news break. Don't forget, we've got the women's national team coach, Naquita Robinson, coming up. We're going to be talking about the women's football program in Bermuda. But, well, guess who's doing the news break today? Ooh, I don't have the weather report. Oh. All righty, folks, this is your Daily Hour news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Unfortunately, the first thing I have to report is, a 78-year-old female pedestrian was struck in what police are describing as a suspected hit-and-run collision at the junction of North Shore Road and Cullen Glen Rise in Hamilton Parish. The incident happened on Monday, the 29th of January at 1 p.m., according to police. The pedestrian was apparently struck by a motorcyclist traveling east on North Shore. After striking the woman, the rider is understood to have continued riding east along North Shore Road. Police arrived to find the 78-year-old woman lying in the grass near the westbound lane, being assisted by members of the public. She was then transported to King Edward Memorial Hospital via ambulance for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries and later discharged. Inquiries by the Bermuda Police Service continue regarding the circumstances of this suspected hit-and-run road collision. So far, no description of the motorcycle or rider believed to be that have been involved have come to light. Any witnesses or persons with relevant information, particularly anyone who may have seen a motorcyclist traveling east at high speeds along North Shore, Hamilton Parish, between Francis Patton and Blue Hill around 1 p.m. Monday, the 29th of January, 2024, are encouraged to contact Constable 2572 Tyler Nelms on 211 or email tnelmes@bps.bm or speak with a police officer that you know. Well, February is known as Black History Month in the United States, and I guess Bermuda does latch on to that. The city of Hamilton is both delighted and honored to announce the creation of a special display created in recognition of Black History Month. The mini exhibition will be on display in the Washington Mall by the Wall of Words, Level B, Church Street, from February 1st through to February 29th. And it features 4 Black Bermudians, each with a link to the city of Hamilton, who made a positive difference in Bermuda. The city partnered with the Bermuda National Trust to curate the exhibit with assistance from the Bermuda National Library and Bermuda Archives. The exhibit features John Henry Thomas Jackson, brother William Sykes Smith, William Henry Thomas Jewell, and Blanche Louise Smith. The spokesman from the city of Hamilton said, quote, "We wanted to showcase impactful exhibits for Black History Month this year in hopes of educating the public on the legacy and rich history of those who played a significant role in building the social fabric of our island and capital city," said the city's director of marketing and communications, Ms. Jessica Aswood. "These stories are important and we are proud to highlight them. We decided to choose Bermudians with strong ties to the city and celebrate their contributions to Bermuda and the Black community." All right, folks, I don't have the weather for you. Anyone got the weather?
Hey, it's just chilling. I'm gonna just say that. This is the unofficial weather report. But when I checked, it was 59 degrees outside, and 59 degrees to Bermuda, to Bermudians, is like 33. So
Well,
bundle up.
here's the thing. Yesterday morning, it was so cold. It was like 48, 49 in South Florida. I said, I'm not doing no different than jog. So this morning, I thought it's going to be better. Woke up, it's 54. I'm like, Jamal, you got to bundle up and you're going, because we're not taking another day off, right?
Yeah, we would have killed for 54. Yeah.
But the challenge is my body wasn't warming up like it should have, so, but I made it.
Yeah, that's the reason why I often tell people I'm never really cold in Bermuda, because when I had to run the winters in North Carolina, I was like, "Well, what is 59?"
It's just showing off now, folks. It's just showing off. That's how those athletes and runners be. That's how they be. So let's. You got a days of the year, or want me to do days of the year, like?
I do have days of the year.
What's the day of the year today?
Today is Eat Brussels Sprouts Day. Roasted, sautéed, or fried, these cruciferous veggies are loaded with vitamins and fiber and make a tasty addition to any meal.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
Brussels sprouts person.
sprouts?
Pardon?
You like Brussels sprouts?
Oh, I love them.
I actually. So you remember Rudy Huxtable from the Cosby Show?
Yeah.
So I thought Brussels sprouts were bad because she told me, if you watch the Cosby Show, Brussels sprouts. And then I finally had them. I'm like, what's wrong with Rudy?
Yeah. You gotta roast them.
Yeah, Rudy Huxtable almost ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Well, Tanya Cheeseman said it's also opposite day. What does that mean? What's opposite day? Like you wear like your clothes backward or something? Like you
I guess so.
on the show? Well, happy opposite. So hold on. You're telling me, real quickly, Tanya Cheeseman, that your anniversary is on opposites day. What does that mean? Please tell us. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're coming back with Coach Naquita Robinson. Really fun conversation. Do us a favor. While we go to break. Whatever platform you're tuned in on, give us a like, a love, and make sure you share the conversations, your friends, your family, your colleagues. All right? Stick with us. We'll be back with Coach Kita.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Larry Marshall Jr. I am Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Well, without further ado, let's bring on our guest for the day. She is the coach of the Bermuda women's national team. Let's give her a warm TDH welcome. It's Coach Naquita Robinson. All right, calm down. She's been on these shows before. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Morning. I'm great. Apologize. Moving around a little bit to make sure our Wi-Fi, we stay connected. Earlier connection I had to move from because the minute you brought me in, it was gone. So maybe a little traffic because I'm actually in the resource room. So teachers probably getting ready for their classes, maybe printing some stuff, but we should be good.
As long as they don't mind our audience seeing what they have on today. That's it.
No, I don't think they'll mind too much.
We appreciate you adapting.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, first, let's just go back to last year. Let's go back to last year because I know on this show, I mean, we probably spoke about the women's national team more than any other probably news topic at one point because of the Gold Cup campaign. Unfortunately, we did bow out of the qualifying stage, but we had a good run. But what were some of the lessons from this experience that you would take as the coach and that you feel like your team could learn from?
Yeah, so, our year started great with Island Games, and with the Island Games competition, getting the gold medal, conceding 0 goals, and just being very comfortable. One of our players that was instrumental in our gold medal Island Games was unavailable for our Gold Cup. So one of the probably biggest lessons is for me as a coach is to make sure that I continue to work to the best of my ability to get our players up to the level to sustain, our competitiveness in the absence of any player. So, we had a really good year. We had a really good campaign, and yes, as at the last hurdle, it didn't quite come off as we had planned or yet wanted. But for us as a group, we understand where we're at and we know where we're heading, and we keep working. This is just one blip, but as you guys will know from previous interviews, we have been on this journey a very long time. And so the players are proud of what they did achieve. Any team is going to be disappointed with going out at that stage, but the girls are ready for whatever's next. And that's what we're doing now. We're going to work on what's next for us and what we're going to do. The technical or tactical things that we need to work on for the next campaign or whatever the next competition is where we're at now. So we understand where it possibly went wrong. And, there are things that happen off the field as well as on the field that, we have to correct so that we can compete at the level we need to compete at.
Yeah. So, Coach, we have players like Kenny Thompson playing overseas, Leilani Nesbitt, who reached the highest of heights in her collegiate career and was recently drafted by the Chicago Red Stars. What do players like this mean for Bermuda's women's program?
Oh, absolutely everything. You have 2 players coming from Little Bermuda who are now, Kenny is at Bournemouth now. having a great time. And we know Kenny has been on the professional track since maybe 12 or 13 years old. She's hit some blips in the road. She's, struggled a little bit at times, but the quality of a player that she is, we always knew that whenever she was available and ready for us, that, she will bring something. It's unfortunate we only had her for the one game, in which we lost. So, Bermuda didn't really get to see what we needed to see from her. With Leilani now being drafted, coming from St. David's, coming from Little Bermuda, went to public and private school here. She is just an ambassador for the sport across the board. So we know that there are other young girls that are looking up to her and looking up to this national team in general. I mean, we had a visit to West Pembroke Primary School and MSA, and just the response from the players and from the students was absolutely amazing. Was absolutely amazing. And the younger generation, our girls' leagues have grown tremendously, and it's due to the success of these players. When I took this job 10 years ago, 11 years ago now, I always took it for players to get opportunities. Winning and getting to the World Cup or winning the World Cup would always be a bonus. But opportunities for these young players, for a player like Leilani, who has a master's degree, to now be able to go and play professionally, that is what we want. We want our players to now go on and play professionally after college. Have your degree, if that's the route you take, but to go on. So both players have something that our young girls in Bermuda can look forward to. I can go on and get a master's degree, and I can be a professional footballer. I can have some struggles and still be a pro.
Before you go, Larry, just want to remind the audience, if you have any questions or comments for Coach Keita, you can send them through, and we'll do our best to get through them before the end of this show.
Yeah, excellent point, Coach. You mentioned it earlier, but I want you to expand. There are other players. Are there others playing in universities, and they're like, how can we get more ladies interested in taking up football and grow the program in Bermuda?
It's starting to happen. And a true story. I have a student here at MSA. And honestly, I didn't even think she liked PE. I didn't even think she liked to move. I just started to teach her yesterday. And at the end of class, she came up to me. She said, I don't know if this is the right time. And this young lady is M2 grade 7. She said, I would like to start playing football. And my dad told me, you're the one to ask. And I was like, wow. I mean, and I tell you, it takes a lot to even get her to pick up a ball. But those are the types of stories. Those are the types of things that people don't know that are happening because of the success of the national team. So when you ask me what is it more that we can do, we can keep doing what we're doing, both on and off the field. The amount of national team players that are coaching now, even in the national program. So now we have Akila Farbit, we have Tasnee Fabla. They are both coaching with the under 15. So they're coaching while playing. So the players see the progression. The players see that there is a channel. We now have relationships with teams and colleges overseas that, we can help students or players get into these programs. So that is the types of things that we are doing. The girls program is growing. There are so many little girls playing now as opposed to when I was younger, or, probably over the last 4 or 5 years, it has grown. So, right now, that's all we can do is we can keep providing opportunities on island for these players to learn the craft, continue to educate coaches. The more coaches are educated, the more they can deliver the information that's required to make sure these players are technically and physically ready. Because a lot of times physicality is what hurts us in the end. And I think now we are understanding that more. The rough part of the match, the rough part of the game is being worked on a lot more. Not just calling a foul just because a girl was tripped, but it has to be a foul to be a foul. So we are doing the things that's needed to grow this program and to inspire a lot more young ladies.
Yeah, I especially like that part with the young lady that approached you, because at the end of the day, will this person be a superstar or make it? But no, we're encouraging them to move now. She could be a lifelong fan, and I think that are some of the things that we have to highlight with the success of the women's teams.
Yeah, I went to it was a women in sports something at Tuckers Point last year, year before last, and there was a cyclist that went to Saltus. I can't remember her name, but she just retired.
Caitlin.
But yes, yes, she in Saltus, she was probably the worst PE student. To the point when she became this cyclist, and like they were like, no way, it's no way that's her. So it's never too late, and what we see as teachers in the school now may not be who that person is. I tell people all the time, I taught Malachi Jones. Malachi Jones was a fat boy all the way through middle school, and he used to tell me, I'm only playing in girl and I'm only playing wicket keep because I don't want to run. And look what he became, right at 16 years old. That's not far out of middle school, right? That's 2-3 years out of middle school. He made history. So we have to continue to do the things that we have to do as adults, to make sure that these kids live their dream. I don't know how far this young lady is going to go, but I am going to direct her in the direction. I thought she wanted it for school. She's like, no, I want to play on a club team. So I will direct her, her parents in the direction to get her started.
Okay, so we said a lot. What is required to take women's football in Bermuda to the next level? We've reached the Girl Cup, or the stage just before we qualify. What takes us to the next level?
Yeah, so everything is a process with us, right? We have been ticking off some boxes. Dominican Republic was the team that we were struggling to beat. It was 0-0s or a narrow defeat, 1-0 or 2-1. And then we beat them. So again, we just keep working at trying to tick off those boxes that we need to tick off. I can guarantee you the next time we're in this competition, we will make it to that next qualifying phase, because the players understand what it takes now. So experience is always going to be the biggest teacher. So they all will know what it felt like on December 4th or 5th, whenever that game was. They will all remember what that felt like. Yes, and they will know that we have to do this, and this to get better. So competitions, right? We have to play matches because we need to see, again, gauge where we're at. So we're only able to gauge where we're at during this competition. We knew the likes of Barbados and St. Vincent. We knew that we could beat them. The draw in Barbados was due to a lot of different factors, but we knew going into this competition that Dominican Republic was our toughest opponent. And so we know the level that we need to be at. And it's now just putting in the work to be at that level. The association is working really hard right now because this year is it's a preparation year for us. So friendlies, a lot of windows, we can, play against those teams again, like the Guyanas that we still haven't had success with, Jamaica's, the Trinidad, those types of teams that we need to be playing because, iron sharpens iron, and we need to make sure that we're continuously playing, and it's no disrespect to a St. Vincent or a St. Lucia or an Antigua, anyone like that. But it's like I tell my son, like, if you don't like playing at Belmont, keep playing there. Belmont is your course. It's your struggle. Keep playing until you are able to defeat that course. But I want us to continue to play against tough opposition. When I prepare, I play against boys teams. I play against teams that are going to beat us. Yeah, and I keep playing against that team until I get closer and closer and closer, because that lets me know that we are progressing. So competitions against teams that are going to give us a good game, because my players need to continue, because they do well. They need to continue being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Because once you're uncomfortable, that's when I know that you're working. That's when I know that it's tough, but we can get past it. So those are the types of things, being in good shape. We have to, have a nutritionist, because what happens is right now we're not in training. We don't start training until February 15th. But they're eating good as well. I'm so happy KFC closed. All right. Like, that's one I don't have to worry about right now as we move into this next campaign. So, but then we go on tour and now we have this strict eating thing. So some of my players now get it. Like they are working on the nutrition side. They are in the gym nonstop. They are working out. Like I see their statuses. I see a lot of stuff that they're doing. So they get it. So that part now I don't have to worry about continuously driving. Like I just have to drive the technical and tactical stuff now because they get where we need to be at to compete.
Yeah, and it's glad that we have the resources for that right now because at one point I know we struggled in that area.
For sure.
2024. What's the top priority for the national program?
So yeah, so 2024 is, as I said, is an off year. So it's right now working on there's fine margins. For example, consistency in crossing, consistency in finishing, consistency in ball control, a lot of technical, a lot of small-sided stuff so we can work on our decision-making in tight spaces. So if you watch the Dominican game, at times, they pressed us a lot. And at times we were unable to get out of those situations. So as a coach, it's my job to go back and look at that game again, as much as I don't wish to. But in order for us to grow, those are the uncomfortable spaces I have to put myself in. So go back and look and see what is it that I can put together. It could be futsal. It could be just 2v2s and 3v3s in training. So for 2024 is now fine-tuning because next year is a qualifying year, and it could be a qualifying year for World Cup, Olympics, Gold Cup. We obviously won't find out too much information on the 2025 calendar at this moment, but I do know that we have windows, and our main goal is when we have those windows to find competition and find competition that is tough competition, so that we can continue to get stronger and get better. So it's really just preparing in 2024 for what is to come in 2025. Because what happens, it comes and it comes fast and furious, and you don't want to be behind the eight ball. Also in 2024, we have forged a relationship with Bournemouth. So my aim is to try to get as many young girls out into the Bournemouth Academy. So we have Kenny Thompson, who has signed for Bournemouth. We have another player or two that could be traveling in February for a trial. And they're looking to sign. Bournemouth have picked up some money from a very prominent American actor. And so they have the funds. And they are looking to bring more Bermudians over. They're playing in like tier 3 or tier 4. But they brought players over from Ireland, from Scotland. So they brought in some talent. And they're looking to climb the ladder. Just built an amazing stadium. So that is the opportunities I'm speaking about right there for our girls. So looking at how many we can get, even if it's for trials, even if it's just training camps, get as many of our girls out there to be in that space. Because, as you all know, I'm part-time and we are attempting to get professional results in an amateur setting. But if I can at least expose the girls to as much professionalism as possible, then we should be okay.
You're muted, Jamel.
Yeah.
Just want to go to the audience, Coach. We've got Traveling Charlie. She says, what measures do you / the BFA take to ensure players' overall health and fitness? Well, she kind of said she's thankful KFC is closed, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we do have a high performance team. And again, the one piece that is missing will be the nutritional piece, which we've tried many avenues, but just none have been as consistent as we would like. You kind of start, stop. We do have benchmarks, so my players will know the benchmarks that they need to be at. Our staff, our physio staff do a lot with all the other benchmarks, the heights, the weights, the jumps. So we do have persons in place that make sure that, so players weigh in, they weigh out, water intake is measured. It's a whole gamut of stuff that, Jaleesa could speak to more than I can, but I do know that there are those things that are in place. Excuse me.
Anthony Pete says, an amazing coach, Coach Robinson is. Her players dedicate themselves. She's a great motivator. The talent cultivated on our island is phenomenal. I ask, as many nations have full-time coaches compensated well, would that be something beneficial? The immense sacrifice has to be tremendous with 2 responsibilities. You want to touch on it? Because you did kind of mention you were part-time just now.
I would love to be full time. I mean, the things that I do, a lot of full time coaches have other coaches that do those pieces. But I have to find the time. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a teacher. So in this time off since our last match up until we train, I have done nothing but research and plan sessions and put together a PowerPoint. So all my players will receive a PowerPoint by the end of this week that they have to go through. It's videos they have to watch. But in all honesty, if I could get this job full time, I would love it. I mean, it would give me an opportunity to travel. There are some players now, because of our success. There are passport players that are reaching out. A young lady made a trip to Bermuda at Christmas. I had to go because we were off, but I found a match to play, so that I can have a look at her. And she's just a good little player, and I didn't even know she existed. But now people are jumping on the train now because they're saying, hey, there's something happening in Bermuda. There's something great, and I want to be a part of it. And I have ties. I'm probably never going to make the U.S. national team or the Canadian national team or the UK national team. So I am going to, put my name in the hat to try and make this Bermuda team. So yeah, there are things out there that that I would love to do. I would love to go and travel and see these players instead of getting to see them one time. Because that could have been a great day. It's almost like a highlight reel. Someone sends a 5-second clip and you probably had a horrible game, but that 5 seconds was amazing. So being able to do certain things like that, go to more coaching conventions, go to, visit the UK, visit a top club. What are their trainings like? So those are the types of things that being a part-time coach, we can't do. But, as much as I can find on YouTube, I try.
And just for clarity, for those who may not know, passport meaning that there's people who, with more and more Bermudians moving overseas, you're going to see more of that, right? Children of Bermudians who are excelling overseas. They know they may not make the UK or Canada or Canadian or US team, so they may say, well, let me get in touch with Bermuda. They seem to be well. Just wanted to give clarity because some people may not.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's something we have to consider because the other countries are doing it.
Yeah, Jamaica, years. They've been seeking players in England that are not likely to make the English team, but I think coach needs some help to kind of do that. There's some people looking for part-time work to help you too, coach. But
and it's the other side too, right? We have some players that you guys would all know. Jessica Furtado. Jessica Furtado did all of her schooling in Bermuda, and she's never been able to represent the country. She's now coaching our under 15 national team. You know what I mean? So this is a person that was only played in a couple of island games, but because they changed the law 2 months before her 18th birthday, she's never been able to get a passport and represent the country. And it's both ways. There are other countries that are just giving these passports out. Jamaica played Canada in September, and even Bonnie Shaw was on the bench. An entire Jamaican team had no born and bred Jamaicans in it to play against that Canada team. And I was kind of happy that Canada won it because Jamaica went ahead, and I was like, this is the wrong message. Because I tell my players all the time, like, I'm gonna ride for you guys. You guys some of these girls have been in this program since they were 13 years old. They're 24, 25 now, and they're working hard. These are the ones that's in the gym. These are the ones that know that there's a generation coming behind them that want to take their spots. But I need to keep my spot as long as I possibly can. And I always said that I would not have a team of strangers, playing, because these girls have developed a sisterhood and that's lent itself to our success. So, at the end of the day, we kind of need to do the same. There's a little girl now, her name's Kalila Daly. She's Jamaican. I don't think she's on the Jamaican radar, but she can't play for Bermuda, but she's been here forever. I scouted this young lady when she was in P3. She was playing at Harrington Sound, with the B girls. So it's those little pieces there that, can be helpful as well.
Let's talk to some people, make it happen, folks. But I think Bermuda definitely needs to probably, and that's more on the political side, I guess, but get up to the time with that, because other countries are getting ahead in so many spaces. This is a space I'm sure we can hash something out quicker than some other legislation and policies. But before you go, I love to ask this question of people who come on this show is, I always say, regardless of what we're going through, a lot of things depend on us, the community. So what can the community do? What can we do to help the women's national team program?
Continue to support us. The support has been amazing. Sometimes it may need even financial support. The association does really well in accommodating my request. I will say that publicly. There's a lot of time the association takes some slams simply because people don't know what is going on behind closed doors, and they don't need to. But there is a lot of work. In that last campaign, there wasn't anything that I asked for that I did not get. And I continue to thank them for this opportunity. But as a community, get out there. If you know anybody that can help us with anything, if you want to donate towards us using the national stadium to train, or if you have someone who would like to donate towards anything, equipment, uniforms, anything, speak to the association and throw your name in the hat, because it costs money. We would love to host. I would love to host one of the international windows, but it costs a lot of money. And the association is there to run all of football in Bermuda, not just international football. While FIFA and CONCACAF do help, until we get high up the ladder, we're not going to see those magic numbers. But there are people in Bermuda that can help us reach that level. Be it silent sponsors, sponsors that want to be sponsors. That is the way the community can help us, because we don't get to play at home as often as we would like. And that's the other piece. When we are playing at home, let's try to fill the entire stadium. It goes a long way. I'm going to tell you, being on that field and hearing those horns, and every time I get to turn around and look at the fans and they're cheering, they're celebrating, it's a beautiful feeling. And I know it does a lot for my players. So, as a community, just continue to support what it is that we're doing. We are not going to get it right 100% of the time. I know people that watched that DR game was like, yes, we got this. But are we really ready for that next phase? As a coach, I have to make sure I protect my players too. And I'll publicly say it again. We are not ready to play Argentina, Mexico, and USA. We're not there yet. There is a full-time professional players. We're working on getting there. And I don't want to make it to this competition and then end up to say that we played Argentina and then it be a demoralizing result, or, you know what I mean? We took slams because we took 2-0 from Dominican. I couldn't imagine going to play USA and taking 10 or 11 or 12. And that's just the reality. We're not as good as they are yet, but we're getting there. So just continue to support our process. This process started in 2015. So it's a very long process, and we are not going to get it right all the time. Did I make a bad decision in that final match? Maybe. But it's a learning process, because we have to learn to change the culture, right? Yeah. So some people may not know that some things may have happened off the field that I needed to let a player know now when we're not ready to compete with those big countries. So when we are competing with those big countries, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So it could be something as simple that I'm going to drop a player because they wore earrings to my training session. As small as that may be, it sends a very big message. Because I don't have to worry about those things now. My players come to training, they can't wait to get on the field and get a ball. I don't have to worry about cell phones, jewelry, not having the correct, because I made some small sacrifices along the way to send a message. And if we don't change our culture here, then we're going to have certain problems moving forward. Players who think that they could come to training late, players that think that they don't have to come, players who think they could come dressed in anything. You cannot train in my session. Yeah. But you're going to understand. And initially, it's going to be tough. It's tough. Culture change is horrible. bad things were said about me. I don't know what I'm doing. You have favorites, all of that fun stuff. And it's okay because people can have an opinion. When you're in this position, you're going to have a lot of critics.
Yeah.
But I learned through this process that there are more people for me than against me, and I have to go with that. So at the end of the day, I love this team. And if I dropped a player or if I didn't pick a player for a certain campaign, it's not because I don't like them. It's because either I'm protecting them. A lot of times I've protected players because I have heard the chatter, and I'm like, I can't put you on this stage right now because I agree to some extent with what the president is saying, but I do know what we are working towards. So, it's a lot. It is. And as a part-time coach, it's like a guidance counselor at school. Like when I teach at PE, if you can't catch the ball, I don't go home and worry about you not being able to catch a ball. But the guidance counselor, if they had to hear that there was abuse or something, they carry that. So as a coach, I carry a lot of that stuff, and I'm always trying to fix it. But I love this job. Football owes me nothing. Maurice can come and say, Coach, you know what? We have found someone. They did it with the men, and I'm okay because my purpose, I understand my purpose and I know my purpose. That I'm gonna continue as long as I have this job to do the best that I can for these players.
The community will do our part to ensure that we support you in your job and the players
Thank
to
you.
the next level. Coach, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
And I want to encourage the audience, if they haven't already, check that conversation that Maya and Leilani had. It was an awesome conversation, and it speaks to the work that the women's program in Bermuda is doing. So we'll talk to you soon, Coach. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Peter Robinson there. Folks, if you appreciated today's conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do the daily plays. We'll wrap it up. Final thoughts on today's discussion and daily focus with Coach Robinson. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere, but show us some love during the break.
Hi there. Welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside. Let's see. Let's kick it off in the footwear department. When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic, and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talks, and DeWalt. The list goes on. Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Pair with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time? Speaking of stylish, we also have top-quality running, walking, and workout apparel by Skechers in a variety of sizes for men and women. Cool, breathable, and dry. With our wide selection of Skechers footwear, you'll look great before, during, and after your workout. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
You'll be surprised at everything we have to offer at our huge new retail and wholesale location on Bakery Lane.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again to Coach Naquita Robinson, the women's national team's senior football coach, for the conversation. Again, if you appreciated today's discussion and conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share this conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. A lot of good information shared and discussed. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can have these conversations with you on a daily basis. And of course, your community engagement and support. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Larry, it's music today. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, he's ready, folks. All right, Rihanna's man knows she's unfaithful. And what is that doing to him?
I got umbrella in my hand. My brother.
I thought that was an easy button. The audience didn't even get it. But Rihanna's man knows she's unfaithful. And what is it doing to him? And it kills him inside.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting the song. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm pushing 2 for the year. This how I feel, Sherry and Sancho.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This brother taking shots. Okay. Let's wrap it up before they come in the comments. Final thoughts on today's discussion. Obviously, Fairmont, Southampton, and the GenCom situation, and then a lot of good conversation with Coach Keita.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that they came up with what we deem a viable solution going forward for the giveaway, and hopefully it just goes well going forward. With Coach Robinson and the team, nothing but good things to say. I think she highlighted some great things, achievements, and I think we can all look forward to good things from them. I'd like to see, like she said, the community, we get behind them. It will not happen without the resources. And we can say that to girls home. She spoke on it, and it's just what's needed. We need the resources to compete.
Yeah. I'll say this much. There's lessons from GenCom. Feel how you feel about the government, the hotel, or GenCom. But I think even in that which we think are bad, evil, or we don't like, there are things we can learn. And I think they got this right in the end. Remains to be seen, but as of right now, I think they got it right. Many of us can apply that to our own lives professionally and personally, and we might be better off. As far as Coach Keita, look, I appreciate the job she's doing. I think, Larry, you and I talk about it all the time, and I thought you was going to bring it up today, but you literally said to me last week, we in Bermuda have a tendency to expect professional results from amateurs doing part-time. Like we had that chat last week, right?
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. And I think we set ourselves, we don't manage our expectations well. At the end of the day, I was encouraged by that conversation. I was encouraged by the conversation because most of us only show up when there's a game and be like, oh, let's go. And then if we don't get the desired result, we complain. We don't understand. Just sending PowerPoints to the girls right now. That's something that most people wouldn't know. Trying to keep their diets up, nutritionists, and just a discipline-focused approach. It's a lot more. Again, I'm going to repeat what I said about Kano, what Kano stated, actually, and I applied it to Maya, that a lot of the work that takes place that needs to be done is not done in front of people. It's what you do when others are not watching that's the difference between the best and the rest. So I want that team to feel encouraged. I want to Coach Keita to feel encouraged. And I believe that with the community support, this team can do some things. No, they're not up to the standard of Argentina or Mexico yet, but it's a process. That process may take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But I think we've come a long way. And yes, we still have a ways to go, but we can get there if we continue the work that needs to take place. You've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. All right. I worked on my weaknesses and made them my strengths. And that's from former female soccer player.
Who's it from, sorry?
Sydney Leroux.
Oh, I like that one. All right. Cool that. All right, folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Do not forget thedailyhour.com. That's our website, all right? Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Hours, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making this part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. He's Larry Marshall Jr. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.